I'll get it. Hey, Nicole.
Hey!
Thanks for coming.
Of course. Oh, it's so good to see you.
You too. Alex is in the kitchen. We're gonna do some grilling.
What are you making?
We're making lamb chops. Hey, how's it going?
Oh, it's so good. It's been too long.
Way too long. I'll start the grill, okay?
Sounds good.
Yeah, while I do that, I'm gonna get the meat ready. Nicole, can I get you something to drink?
I'd love some water.
Awesome.
Really
Okay.
warm today.
Yeah, I'm loving this weather compared to the rain I walked through yesterday to get to class.
That's gross. Well, this is better, especially with the grilling outside and everything.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to do it this time of year.
Do you have a recipe in mind that you're following? Something new?
I don't know. I think
Ow!
some spice. Oh my god. Alex, what happened?
I burned myself.
Here, let me see. We're gonna run it under cool water.
Okay.
Anthony, will you get the first aid kit?
Yeah, it's right over here.
Am I gonna have to go to the hospital?
No, it's a mild burn. We're just gonna run it under cool water for 10 minutes, okay?
Okay.
I'm gonna get some ice from the freezer.
Actually, ice makes it worse. Okay, I think that's been 10 minutes. Will you turn off the water?
Sure.
All right. I'm gonna put on these gloves so I can put on a sterile dressing, okay?
Alright.
Now try not to move your hand at all.
Okay. Thanks a lot for helping.
Yeah, of course.
If you are dealing with a patient with a burn, first make sure that the scene is safe. Get a first aid kit and remember to use your personal protective equipment. In this case, Alex has a small burn. Run cold water over the burn until it no longer hurts. Do not apply ice as this may worsen the burn. You may then cover the burn with a dry, sterile dressing from your first aid kit. Keep monitoring the patient for signs of shock, and if you have any concern, call 911. Some burns may be more serious than others. If the patient is on fire, put the fire out by having them stop, drop, and roll, or by smothering the fire with a blanket. Remove any clothing or jewelry from the burned area. For burns that are large, deep, or on more sensitive areas such as the hands, feet, or private parts, call 911. Also call 911 for burns to the face, as this may cause damage to the airway, which may become a very serious situation.
All right, that should be good.
Thanks a lot.
Of course.
Well, I'm glad she took care of that for you, but we still gotta eat, and you're not allowed near the food now. So,
Alright.
I'm gonna get working on cutting this meat here. Ouch. I cut myself.
Oh man, come over to the sink. Are you okay?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look that bad, but it really hurts.
Okay, well, here, I have some gauze. Why don't you put pressure on it?
Alright.
I'm gonna put on the gloves, and I'll take a look in. Let's hold pressure on for a couple minutes.
Okay.
Okay, so now, without removing the gauze, I want you to take your hand off, and let's see if it's bleeding through.
For bleeding you can see, first make sure that the scene is safe. Get a first aid kit and put on your personal protective equipment. Place a dressing on the wound and apply direct pressure using the flat part of your fingers or the palm of your hand. Check the dressing to see if the cut has bled through the dressing. If it has not bled through, wash the cut with soap and water, apply an antibiotic ointment, and apply a new clean dressing.
I guess you and I are just really clumsy.
Story of my life.
Okay, so now we're gonna stick this on. That should be good. You should definitely get it looked at by a doctor, though.
Okay.
We can still make the lamb chops, right?
Guys, I think we've had enough excitement for one day. Let's just order pizza.
I agree. Ah! Just cut myself.
Oh man, come over to the sink.
Are you okay?
I don't know, this looks really bad.
Okay, well, let's try putting some gauze on it and applying pressure. I'm gonna put on some sterile gloves and take a look in a minute. Does it hurt pretty bad?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. So now, without removing the gauze, I want you to pick up your hand and look and see if it's bleeding through. Okay, it's bleeding through pretty well. So let's apply more pressure. Okay, I think that's been about a minute. Why don't you leave the gauze on, but lift up your hand and let's see if it's bleeding through. Okay. Wow, it's really bleeding. Okay, so what I want you to do is put your hand back on and really put pressure on it. Press really hard. Okay? Now I want you to elevate it above your heart. A little higher? There you go. Perfect. Okay, hold it there. How are you feeling?
A little lightheaded.
Okay, Alex, can you get a chair?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and sit down. And this is great because it keeps the wound elevated above your heart, so it'll help slow the bleeding. Alex, can you call 911?
Okay.
I think this might be serious.
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna leave the pressure on, and I want you to hold it for about 2 minutes, and I'm gonna get the tourniquet ready, okay? Just in case we need it.
911?
Okay, I think it's been about 2 minutes, so we're gonna check it one more time and see if the bleeding is slowed, okay? So again, leave the gauze on and just lift your hand. Okay, it's still bleeding through a lot, so you know what? We're gonna put on the tourniquet if that's okay. All right, so hold on pressure. Now what I did is I tied a knot about 1/3 of the way down the bandage, okay? I'm gonna lay the spoon against your arm and tie another knot on the other side of your arm. Good job keeping it still, that's important. Okay, so we want this tourniquet to be about 2 inches down from the wound, so I'm gonna put it about here, okay? So now that we've done that, I'm gonna turn the spoon until the bleeding stops. Okay, it looks like it stopped. So here's where we're gonna tie the spoon in place by putting a knot on the top of the spoon. Alex, is 911 on their way?
Yeah, on the way.
Great. Alex, can you write down the time?
Yeah. It's 2:30.
Great. All right, that seems secure. Does it feel okay?
Yeah, it does. Thanks,
All
Nicole.
right, good.
If the bleeding has not stopped and has bled through the dressing, do not remove the dressing as this will disrupt any clots that have formed. Add a second dressing over the first and press harder. Keep pressure on the wound until it stops bleeding. Wounds that are large or gaping will require immediate medical attention. If there is severe bleeding that does not stop with pressure, or if there are signs of shock, call 911 immediately.